When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Welcome everyone to the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. We are just starting qualifying here. We've got some great numbers on the board. I am Rick Souza, your host tonight. My co-host is not available, and he's off doing his thing, and so we'll wish him well. He'll be back next week, but you got me, and maybe some special guests as the night continues. So what we have here, this is the Tech4Troops Cup Series. This is our Darlington 150 event here, and we've got 150 laps here at a classic NASCAR track. So let's talk about what the race info is for today. Let's see if we can get that to show up. Well, it's not coming up, so it's strolling in. There we go. So temperature-wise, it's a little chilly here in Darlington, 72 degrees, 75 on-track temperature, partly cloudy, no real wind. The humidity is at 36%. So for tonight, 150 laps. There is 60% fuel, 1 quick repair, and 4 sets of tires. Now, that will play a key role in tonight's event. But we'll see how it goes. Now, Darlington, if you're familiar with Darlington, Darlington is an egg-shaped track. As you can see by the track map, it is 1.366 miles around. It's got 25 degrees of banking, and it is just a classic NASCAR event, one of those old-school tracks, which also means that the racing surface is fairly worn out, and that means there's tire wear to consider, and certainly tire preservation will be a key to this race. So qualifying is currently coming to an end. That's Romas Castro, currently on track right now, getting in his qualifying track. This is an unusual race to drive as a driver, because turns 1 and 2 are significantly different than turns 3 and 4. Turns 1 and 2 are tighter and shorter, being that fact that's the short end of the egg shape, and turns 3 and 4 you can run up a little higher and you can work and hold a little bit better speed through that. So it looks like qualifying has come to a close. We will bring you the grid once that is finally set. Let's see what we have for our grid. And the grid has not quite populated just quite yet. We're waiting on it to show up. All right, here we go. So our grid has finally decided to show up, and Chris Worrell is our pole sitter with a 29.273. He will be on the inside. On this outside, Joey Doucette in that familiar number 11. On the inside, behind our pole sitter, is Ryan Pittman in the 08. Outside, Ty Bostic in that familiar 22. Sean Schupman is sitting in 5th with the number 37. Ian Ogden on his outside in the 21. Inside, Alonzo King in that 80. Outside of Alonzo, Mike Slagter. On the inside, Harley Barletta in the 81, and outside, Paul Ballenstein in the 89. Inside, Christopher Howell in the 88, and on the outside, Andrew Surwick. In 13th, David Watts in the 54, outside, Ramos Castro in the 25. In 15th position, Zachary Allen in the 24, and Elliott Swope in 16th. In 17th, Luke Bullard in the 3, and on the outside, Evan Amick in the 77. Inside, Pete Woodrum in the number 1 in 19th position, and Marco Berube in the 99 in 20th. Freddie Durstock is in 21st in the number 5, and outside Freddie is Nick Jadu in the 45. Bobby Gibson is in 23rd in the 28, and in 24th position, Thomas Thompson in that 78. In 25th position, bringing up the field, is the 91 of Brad Previtt. All right, looks like our competitors are making their way around the track. Lights are off on top of the pace car, which means we're about to go back to racing. Let's cover a few track facts here and keys to this event before they come and take that green flag. We've got keys to our race today. It's going to be tire management. This is an old track. It's a very abrasive surface. They're going to need to be consistent on their tires and their lines. Again, consistency now. They've got to be consistent with how they enter turn 1 and 2. And 3, avoid getting bit by turn 2. Okay, pace car has dropped off. We're about to go to green flag racing here, and we are underway here at Darlington in the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Joey Doucette leads the field, and quickly, that's the 22 of Ty Bostic, who drops in behind him. We've got Ian Ogden in the 21, and Ryan Pittman is in the 08. The order is going to jumble up a bit as these guys begin to get a feel for this track, and you'll see some folks as they work their way through. We're seeing some major shuffling take place early on, but Joey Doucette continues to show the way. You can see as they're swinging off of turn 2, we'll try to follow some of these drivers, especially as they go through turns 1 and 2, because that is the most difficult track difficult part of the track here at Darlington. Joey Doucette continues to show us the way. Ryan Pittman is tucked in behind him in the 08. Ian Ogden in the 21, and the Alonzo King is in the 80. Oh, contact with the wall. I'm going to get a number. I believe that was Mike Slagter in the 14, who now has a familiar Darlington stripe on the outside of that number 14 Chevrolet. You'll see that often here. It's very easy to slip, turn, through turns 1 and 2. It's an interesting track. The line here is, well, there's really only one line around Darlington. It's just the way that the surface is. So you've got to hit those marks going into turn 1, coming up out of turn 1, and then going back down, because the wall for the backstretch is inside of turn 2. So turn 2 opens up wider, and that backstretch wall kind of comes in and encroaches on the racing surface just enough that it makes it a little difficult for that driver to gain a visual mark, and consequently you can wind up on that wall. We'll take this opportunity to kind of work our way back through the track. Talked about earlier, that's Joey Doucette currently in first place. Behind Joey, you've got the 08 of Ryan Pittman. Behind Ryan, you've got the 21 of Ian Ogden. Right behind Ian, you've got the 80 of Alonzo King. Alonzo's back there. Alonzo has some real-life experience here at this track. Behind Alonzo, you got the 37 of Sean Shipman. Oh, behind Sean, you saw definitely some movement again. 14 of Slagter working their way around the other cars that are there. You got the 81 of Harley Barletta behind him. Running behind Harley, you've got the 88 of Christopher Howell. We'll cover points in a little bit as to where the series stands and how drivers are doing. You've got the 89 of Paul Valentine, who's currently sitting in 9th place. And behind Paul, the 22 of Ty Bostic. Sitting behind Ty is the number 3 of Luke Bullard. Oh, and just as we mentioned Luke, he has got into that safer barrier on the backstretch. Again, we talk, this is a challenging track. Getting that line around can really be a challenge for drivers who aren't familiar with this track. Looks like Ty may be headed down pit road, not sure at that point. The 25 of Hermas Castro is back here. He's currently sitting in 11th. Luke Bullard is still now dropped back to 13th. You've got Zachary Allen in 14th position. Evan Amick behind Zachary Allen is cursing, and now Aaron Evans moved up to 14th. Marco Berube is now in 15th. He's picked up 5 spots since his start. Pete Woodrum in the 1. Bobby Gibson in that Dr. Pepper 28. And our first caution is out. I think that was an incident with David Watts. Let's take a peek and just see what happened there. Oh, there we go. Let's back that up. All right, let's watch David. This is coming out of turn 2. Yep. So that's familiar territory. If you don't catch that corner correctly, it's very easy to miss that mark, and you're going to wind up running into that outside wall. we'll see a lot of that here tonight. That's typically, Darlington is notorious for as a challenging track, and we will see that. So here we are, lap 12 of 150. Number of drivers are making their way down to pit road. You've got Ty Bostic, Alonzo King, Hermas Castro, Luke Bowe. A number of guys are on pit road this after just 12 laps on track. All right, so again, interesting track. One of the interesting things about Darlington that kind of sets itself apart is that for all intents and purposes, drivers race on what was intended originally to be part of the outer track apron. So that outer belt part of this track is much more steeply banked than the racing surface itself, and it was originally designed to help keep the drivers off the outside wall, or at least to help mitigate the impact. But it wasn't long before the drivers figure out that they can actually run faster on the high banks, and they've been running there for as long as this track has been in existence. It has been a bit more challenging once they did institute the safer barrier. That has kind of made that outer wall a little bit more difficult, but that's typically where you'll see the race, especially through turns 3 and 4. Now, the funny thing about Darlington, as I said earlier, is that there usually is a line or two for a racing line, whether they're going to be hugging the inside wall or the inside line, or running an outer line midway between the apron and the outer wall. At Darlington, there's only one line, and that is you got to enter the turns by cutting down to a lane from the bottom and then sweeping back up within inches of the wall and getting maintaining that arc through the remainder of the turn. There is no room for error, and that does make Darlington really one of the most treacherous tracks for drivers. And as a fan, myself included, some of the most exciting racing takes place here each and every year. Well, we are working through our pace laps here. Since I am without a broadcast partner tonight, I may try to pull some drivers in with future cautions, and we'll enable our race communications down to those in-car interviews, and we'll bring some guys up into the booth during the caution lap. So tonight, the lights are off now on our pace car. We will be headed back to green flag racing in just a moment. We'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. The Tech4Troops Cup Series is also sponsored by the 1111 Project, U-Haul, and Elite Performance Industries, EPI. As with any major league, these sponsors are what help these leagues stay. That's what pays for iRacing time, as well as broadcasting and all the social media features that you have come to expect from the Tech4Troops Cup Series. So, pace car has dropped off the racing surface. Joey Doucette is our control car, and he's bringing this up to the stripe. And we are back to green flag racing here at Darlington with the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Now, a number of guys further on back in the field, about midway part of the field, those guys all pitted. Some took tires, some took fuel, but some took all. So we'll see how it goes. Challenge for the lead. Looks like the 08 of Ryan Pittman is trying to get under Joey Doucette for first place here. But he apparently has backed out of that a bit, trying to find what's the best place to get her on. It is not an easy track to pass on. By taking that lower line to pass, you will scrub off some speed. As I said earlier, this track is older. The asphalt surface is very abrasive, and it will take a toll on these tires. still pretty early on the first set. They've got 4 additional sets to put on the cars today. So they started with 1. They've got 4 in their pits. We're continuing to see Joey Doucette lead this group, with Ryan Pittman and Harley Barletta sitting back in 3rd. Christopher Howell has moved up to 4th. That's up 7 spots from where he qualified. And Ian Ogden currently sits in 5th. Paul Valentine is in 6th. Sean Schupin in 7th. Mike Slachter in 8th. Alonzo King in 9th. And Andrew Serwick sitting in 10th. We'll drop back through the field and see. Oh, there's definitely some back a little bit farther to a different group. A lot of action going on in this group here. That's the 25 of Hermas Castro. He is battling the 99 of Marco Berube. And it's just the single groove here just makes it so challenging to work your way around. You're hoping for that guy in front of you to make a mistake. And at the same time, you need to be cognizant of your line. You saw Marco Berube, you saw Hermas Castro there just slightly tag the wall coming out of 1 and into 2 through the apex of 2. It's very easy to overdrive this track, and these drivers are doing their best to pay attention to their lines and hit their marks through each of these turns. This track rewards the consistency of the driver. Zachary Allen gets under the 3. Or is attempting to the 3 just tags the wall. That's not going to help him. That's Luke Bullard bouncing off that safer barrier. That is like glue on this track. It just sucks you in and just slows your speed tremendously. Again, drifting up through 3. So that being said, why don't we ride along? Let's jump up to Harley Barletta. Let's ride along with Harley as he takes the laps here at Darlington. So you can hear him backing out of the throttle there, drifting up through 1. Getting back in, feathering that throttle, getting back on the gas on the back stretch here. You'll see that at some point he will begin to back out of the throttle about there. Let the car's momentum take it up to the high line. Staying in there, dropping down a little bit farther than you would expect to, but you need to, because that front stretch wall begins to encroach on the racing surface. So again, here, he's back onto the throttle, back on a bit, working the car in. He'll just move the car down a groove, because that's the momentum will throw you up there to that outside wall. All right, that's 25 laps in. Just 1 caution so far, a minor incident with the 54 of David Watts. David is now the first car 1 lap down. Next caution, David could get his lap back. You are seeing Joey Doucette continue to lead out front. Harley Barletta has now moved into 2nd around Ryan Pittman. Ryan Pittman is now 3rd. Chris Howell is 4th, and Ian Ogden is sitting in 5th. We thank you for tuning in tonight to the Tech4Troops Darlington 150, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network. We ask that you, whichever streaming platform you're following, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, we ask that you like and follow. That way in the future, we can keep you updated as to our Wednesday night series here, Tech4Troops, but we also have a Tuesday night series that we broadcast for the Super Speedway Kings. As you can imagine, that series runs at Talladega and Darlington and the New Atlanta, and so they are running. They're in the Craftsman Truck Series, so lots of speed, lots of 2 and 3 wide racing. So always great action on every Tuesday night. They're off for the next 2 weeks, though, for the Christmas and New Year's holiday, but that series will resume after the first of the year. So back here at Darlington, Mr. Joey Doucette continues to show us the way. Harley Barletta sits in second. Ryan Pittman in third. Christopher Howell in fourth, and Ian Ogden is sitting in 5th place. So as you can see from the board, we definitely have some gaps beginning to... Oh, caution is out. Looks like there's been a caution with Luke Bullard and Ty Bostic. Let's try to see if we can bring up that incident. We're seeing the 43 of Andrew Surwick. You can see behind him, Ty Bostic looks like he's losing grip, and the rear end of that car began to come out. As he begins to correct, unfortunately comes back up into the path of the 3, and unfortunately collects Luke Bullard in that incident. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll try to drop back and try to get that from the rear view, but I think we covered that fairly. Let's just double check here to be sure. Yep, that's exactly what happened. All right, well, that brings out our second official caution of the day, and what we're seeing is our leaders are now coming down pit road after 31 laps. I would expect that. Those tires have gotten some pretty good wear, and they're going to come back in probably for a full tank of Sunoco fuel and some new Goodyear rubber. Pretty much the entire field has come down pit road. Let's see if we have a better shot from our pit lane exit camera. But everybody from, that's Marco Bruby, Ty Bostic, Sean Shupman, Mike Slagger, Alonzo King, Paul Ballenstein, Freddie Durstock, Pete Woodrum, Luke Bullard, Bobby Gibson, all came down pit road and refilled their cars. All right. Well, Joey Doucette continues to show the way here. Let's see if we can reach out to Joey. Hey, Joey, it's Rick Souza here in the broadcast booth. How's it going?
Good, yourself, guys?
We're good. So it's just me tonight, so I may pull you in on more than one occasion. So
I'm sick, I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. So you got 32 laps under your belt. You've been leading the majority of the laps here. What's your thoughts here tonight on this track?
Just take it easy and save your tires and try to stay off that wall. That wall loves to eat you guys. So it's collected a couple of people already, and just try to stay off the wall and save my tires at the end.
Sounds like a good plan. All right, well, we'll let you get back to it, and good luck, and I'm sure we'll talk to you later on in the race.
I appreciate it. Have a good night, fellas.
All right, that's Joey Doucette, your current leader right now. We'll keep up with Joey and the rest of the guys. Here we are under caution. I guess the guys who are in front were getting the wave around, so we'll be back to green flag momentarily. The lights are off on top of our pace car. And hopefully this field will start forming up. The lights have come on here in Darlington. So now we've got a bit of changing conditions here. So we started out late afternoon, but now as the sun goes down, the track will cool off, speeds will increase, and should make for a little bit different racing. So as the competitors begin to enter turn 3, that pace car will soon drop off. Joey Doucette is our control car. We're watching Joey take him to the stripe. And we're back to green flag racing here at Darlington for the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Great jump by the 11, and also Christopher Howell is now moved up, and now he is in second place behind Joey Doucette, getting around Ryan Pittman. Ian Ogden in fourth, Sean Shipman in fifth. Oh, a car saw it dropping down to the low line further on back in the field. That was the 28 of Bobby Gibson. All right, Bobby keeps it together, and we continue to stay under green flag. Joey Doucette continues to show us the way. Christopher Howell in second. Definitely some changes of place here further on back in the field. That's Freddie Durstock. Keeping our eye on Freddie. That is the 77 of Evan Amick. Got Hermas Castro on the outside of Freddie. Definitely some slip. I guess when you've got to anticipate the fact that you are on cold tires, and it takes a while to build up some heat and some traction into these tires. And this track does not make that easy with its challenging layout. So Hermas Castro drops on the low side, gets around the 5. Oh, a car in the wall, the 78, slides back up in the field and collects the 77 of Evan Amick, bringing out our third caution of the night. Thomas Thompson was involved as well. All right, let's go back and see what we can see. But again, we are in the middle in between turns 1 and 2. And this spot has bit a number of drivers tonight. So the 78 tags the outside wall. With the way he approached his exit out of turn 2, he was so already tight that wall comes up quickly on the backstretch and threw him down against the safer barrier on the inside wall. And unfortunately, like a ping pong ball, threw him right back up into the lane of travel and collecting the 77 of Evan Amick. All right, number of cars are on pit road. Freddie Durstock, David Watts, Hermas Castro, Luke Bullard, and Bobby Gibson. And all that excitement, there was a lead change that occurred Let's see if we can go back and bring up that lead change. This is Christopher Howell battling Joey Doucette for the lead. He slips underneath, out of turns 3 and 4. I'm sorry, turns 1 and 2, and takes over the lead. And about that time is when that caution flew. And Christopher Howell is your new leader. All right, didn't want you to miss that lead change. We are back under caution here at Darlington, and while we will go side by side with a commercial break. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. We are under caution, our third caution of the night for an incident on the backstretch involving Thomas Thompson and Evan Amick. Christopher Howell continues to show us the way. We are about to go back to green flag racing. Lights are off on top of our pace car, and this race is kind of shaped up the way we kind of figured here. It's a challenging track, and where we saw it bite our drivers is right there. Coming out of turn 2, you can see just from that image itself, you can see how that backstretch comes into the racing surface where you thought you could follow that turn 2 all the way around and it just continues. It doesn't, and that affects every driver. You almost need to ignore that seam that's on the racetrack there and dive in earlier, and you'll see it happen with other drivers as they take control. So we're about to go back to green flag here. Christopher Howell is our control car. Here we go. Green flag here at Darlington. Christopher Howell jumps out to a great restart, and he pulls away to a 3 and 4 car advantage over Ryan Pittman in second. Joey Doucette has fallen back to third. Ian Ogden in fourth. Sean Shipman is in fifth. Alonzo King is in fifth. Sean Shipman is in sixth. They're making some changes right there. We are at lap 43 of 150 scheduled laps here at Darlington. Christopher Howell is showing us the lead and showing us the way. Christopher has moved up from qualifying in 11th position. He's picked up 10 spots and currently leads the race. Another big mover is the 99 of Marco Berube. Marco is currently sitting in 7th, but he started this race in 20th. So he has moved up through these incidents and through his driving and is now up to 7th in the current field. Behind Marco is the 22 of Ty Bostic. And Andrew Surwick sits in 9th. In 10th spot, you've got Paul Valentine. Harley Barletta sits back in 11th. You've got the 14 of Mike Slagter behind Harley, and Romas Castro is sitting in 13th position. Freddie Durstock is currently showing in 17th position. He is up 4 spots from where he qualified, but he is the last car on the lead lap. All right, back out front, Christopher Howell continues to show us the way. You've got Ryan Pittman behind him and Joey Doucette sitting in 3rd. Ian Ogden is now sitting in 4th, and Alonzo King is currently in 5th. So while we're watching these drivers attack this track, just so you're aware, a little bit of history on Darlington. Darlington was built in 1949, 1950, was inspired by, and at the time was meant to rival the Indianapolis 500, which at the time was drawing an unprecedented attendance. So the Southern 500 was run on Labor Day weekend, and at the time they awarded a huge purse at the time. The 88 big wreck amongst our leaders here. Caution flies for the 4th time. And there is a lot of damage. We'll need to recap that. A lot of guys involved. Pete Woodrum, Ty Bostic, Alonzo King, Ian Ogden. We saw Christopher Howell involved. Let's get a better angle on this. Let's definitely back that up. All right, so obviously a tight battle here between the 08 of Ryan Pittman and the 88 of Christopher Howell. The 08 is right there on the rear quarter panel, challenging for the lead. The 88 of Christopher Howell comes down across and then contacts across the nose of the 8. He tries hard to save it. He does, but there's a lot of checking up going on behind him. You see the 11 of Joey Doucette, and then not able to hold it, and then the 20 collects a 21. Alonzo King contacts the 21, and then the 22 of Ty Bostic. Unfortunately, can't get stopped quick enough, and then winds up into the 80 of Alonzo King and the 21. Number of guys are also involved just as collateral damage. That's the 88 of Christopher Howell limping along that safer barrier. A lot of damage. A lot of guys will be in for repairs. All right. 50 laps in the books. 100 laps to go. And a lot of damaged race cars out there. So Christopher Howell has made it back into the pits. Or will be to collect. He may use his fast repair. He may already have at this point. Nope, still seeing some damage on that right side, so. All right, so new leader, Ryan Pittman takes over. Joey Doucette is sitting in 2nd, Sean Shipman in 3rd. Marco Berube has moved up to 4th. Andrew Serwick is sitting in 5th. Harley Barletta in 6th, Paul Valenstein in 7th, Mike Slagter in 8th, Hermas Castro is up to 9th, and Luke Bullard is in 10th. Luke, welcome to the broadcast booth. How you doing?
We hanging in there. Been a little rough start, but trying to make our way forward.
Sure has. I was watching. Did you have some contact in that incident, or did you escape it, or?
This past one we barely got through there.
All right. Yeah. Here we are. 4th caution to go. 50 laps. I guess, like most people, your job is to just drive as defensively as possible and stay out of the drama.
That's right. We got to keep it clean the rest of the way if we're going to have a chance. So we already used that fast repair.
Well, I don't think you're alone. A lot of guys already have. So, all right. Well, good luck to you. We're about to go back to green flag.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That was Luke Bullard. He's going sitting in 10th spot. So the cars and our competitors are now on the backstretch. They're about to go back to green flag racing. Bobby Gibson is still in the pits trying to get some repairs made on his damaged vehicle. A number of drivers have gone a lap down. Chris Worrell, Ian Ogden, Evan Amick, Thomas Thompson. A number of those drivers are retired. Chris Worrell is the first car on the lead lap. I'm sorry, he's the first car 1 lap down. Ryan Pittman is our control car. And we are back to green flag racing here at Darlington. All right, as you heard Luke Bullard mention, a lot of guys have already used he's used his fast repair. We've seen a number of guys who have already used their fast repair. If you're not familiar with that term, that basically is a do-over, like an extra life. You get a chance to go in the pits, kind of get your car fully repaired and get back out, but you've only got one. Anything past that, you'll have to either wait for repairs, or if you've got some damage, you'll have to limp around, or it may cost you the race. So we keep an eye on that as best we can. As we watch Ryan Pittman continue to lead this here, Ryan Pittman is followed by Joey Doucette, Harley Barletta, Sean Shipman, and Andrew Serwick back in 5th. 55 laps complete here with the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. I'm your host tonight, Rick Souza. My broadcast partner, John DeRutris, is off tonight, spending time with family. We thank you for tuning into the IWF broadcast this evening for our regularly scheduled Wednesday night broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We're on the roof cam right now of Brian Pittman, and you heard him feathering that throttle through this track. We could probably drop in and ride around with Ryan. Let's take an opportunity to do that. We'll keep an eye out and listen to hear him drop out of the throttle there. And you can hear him kind of working that throttle to get back on the gas. This is entering turn 1. He slings it up and comes back down into that 3rd groove where you've got to, contact right there. You saw that. Well, you're on board with the 08 as you saw him tag the wall coming out of 2. Easy to do. Again, they don't call it the Darlington stripe for nothing. But that contact allowed the 11 of Joey Doucette to close that gap. As you can see the lights As the sun begins to go down, we've got some longer shadows. And the track and race conditions will change. You're seeing this group of Joey Doucette, Ryan Pittman, Harley Barletta, and Sean Schumann begin to separate themselves by a couple of seconds from the rest of the top 10. They're kind of breaking off into a second group. That second pack is kind of led by Andrew Schumann back here. That's Andrew Schumann. You've got Andrew Serwick, rather, Mike Slagter, Paul Valentine, and Alonzo King. Behind Alonzo in ninth is Hermas Castro, and Marco Berube is our top 10. That's the 14 of Mike Slagter trying to make his way around. The 43 of Andrew Serwick. Now you see Paul Valentine attempting the same. 43 was a little bit out of shape there earlier. That allowed Mike Slagter to come around. Contact, you're watching that 43 dragging along the wall. Keep our eye out here for a bit, and then we'll join our leader, Joey Doucette, who has now taken the lead away from Ryan Pittman. Back and watch that lead change right here out of turn 2. See Joey Doucette drop down to the inside and make his way around the 08 of Ryan Pittman. Ryan tries a slide job and tries to get back, but nope, Joey holds him off and leads that lap. So with 87 laps to go, Joey Doucette currently leads the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Ryan Pittman is in second. Harley Barletta is in third. Sean Schumann sits in fourth. Mike Slagter in fifth. Oh, yellow is out. Looks like Luke Bullard may have crashed. Let's try to see if we can pick that incident up. That will bring out our fifth caution of the night. Luckily, that was a single car incident. Luke kept it off. Let's drop back. And I think, this is very similar to what we've seen tonight. This is coming off of turn 2. However, Luke did a great job in keeping the car from contacting the inside and outside. Oh, that was coming off of turn 4. Sorry about that. All right, that being said, we've got the field coming down onto pit road. That's Joey Doucette, Ryan Pittman, Sean Schumann. Pretty much the top 15 is in for tires and fuel after lap 67. That is the second time Joey Doucette and Ryan Pittman have been in and on pit road. 84 laps to go. We thank you for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Currently, Christopher Howell is shown in first. He did not pit that time by. He pitted last on lap 49. And here, fuel is less of an issue than tires, but obviously fuel does matter. So if Chris stays out, that's going to put him on significantly older tires than Joey Doucette, who will start on his outside. Let's briefly take a look at the current point standings while we have a moment. So after a number of races, Joey Doucette is currently leading our points with 533. Ryan Pittman is in second. Hermas Castro is in third. Harley Barletta in fourth. Ian Ogden in fifth. Chris Howell is in sixth. Sean Schupman is in seventh. Ty Bostic eighth. Mike Slagter ninth, and Marco Berube is sitting in 10th. Now here at Tech4Troops, it's similar to NASCAR. There is points and play as a playoff, and so winning races and accumulating points are both ways to get into the playoffs here, and a number of drivers already have wins to their credit. Christopher Howell, Joey Doucette, and a number of others, Alonzo King, Hermas Castro. So we'll get an update on playoff standings a little bit further in the broadcast. That being said, 82 laps to go. About to go back to green flag racing. Chris Howell is our control car, and green flag, and off we go. Christopher Howell jumps out ahead. Great start for Chris Howell. Joey Doucette is in second. Keeping an eye back here with this pack behind. Oh, contact right there. That's Paul Ballantyne, and Andrew Surwick brings out our sixth caution of the night. We caught that right there on camera. Let's back that up. See if we can grab that incident. So we're watching the 43. There's contact. I'm not really sure. Let's go back and take a look at that real quick. You know, with anything, all these decisions happen in a split second. It's easy to go back and play, in effect, Monday morning quarterback and try to understand intent and what we're seeing here. So as we're watching the 43 work his way through that corner, he tries to take that jump on the high line along the wall, and unfortunately had a really good run and just made some contact to the right rear quarter panel of the 89, causing that incident and collect those two drivers. So the 43 is in the pits, as well as the 89 of Paul Ballantyne. They'll make any necessary repairs that they need to get back out. If they can, a lot of these drivers have already used up their fast repairs. Not sure about these two drivers here. But with 79 laps to go, this is our 6th caution of the night. There's David Watts, you see there in the 54, and the 89 of Paul Valenstein. Looks like that damage is still there on the right side of that car, so he may be out of fast repairs at this stage of the race. Okay, we have got 16 cars on the lead lap, possibly 17 cars on the lead lap, with Andrew Serwick being the last car. Ian Ogden is currently, I think, 1 lap down in 18th. Nope, Ian is showing as out. So Ian has retired. So it looks like we have 17 cars currently that are out there. Chris Worrell is currently in the pits. Looks like he's making any necessary repairs he's got to. And of course, that's something you can do here. If you're cognizant of where the field is, you can come in. Especially if you're at the tail end of the field, you can come in and incrementally get repairs made. But as we are nearing the halfway point here at Darlington, Christopher Howell is now showing as our leader. Joey Doucette on the outside. Chris Howell last pitted on lap 49. So he's on slightly older tires. We just talked about that a moment ago. We didn't have that many green flag laps until we went back under caution. On previous broadcasts, you may have heard my partner say cautions breed cautions. There you go. All right, so the lights are off on top of the pace car. The competitors are right now on the backstretch. They'll be working their way back towards the turns 3 and 4, and we'll be back under green momentarily. We thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Pace car is off. Christopher Howell is in control. Oh, and green flag, but he definitely held up that field tightly. And you've got a pack of the 1111 cars right up front. Christopher Howell, Harley Barletta, Joey Doucette are all right there. That one lone car is Alonzo King in the 80, who's mixed up in those 1111 cars. Oh, contact. I think that was Joey Doucette who bounced off that outside safer barrier. He may have a little bit of damage on the right side of that car. The 22 of Ty Bostic there and the 25 of Hermas Castro. He now works his way around the 22 of Ty Bostic. Is now on the tail end of the 11. So further on back, you saw Paul Valenstein getting his way back up after that previous incident. Now behind the 99 of Marco Berube. Looking to pick up a spot. Christopher Howell is right there with Harley Barletta, nose to tail. We've got the 80 of Alonzo King in third. He's looking to make his way up there and challenge for that lead. Oh, big move. Harley Barletta slipped back a bit. That allowed the 80 to move up further on back. Definitely saw the 11 slightly out of shape, and that gave a huge opportunity for the 25 to move up there. Further on back, there's a lot of passing and work between the drivers. The pass, that's the 08 of Ryan Pittman working his way back up towards the front. Oh. The 37 slightly out of shape. He tagged the wall there. You can see that damage on that right front. Number of drivers backed off when they saw that 37 suddenly out of shape. Behind Sean Schubin, got the 89 Paul Valentine, Luke Bullard, Ryan Pittman, and Mike Slagton. While we're looking back to the field, Harley Barletta has made his way around Christopher Howell. Let's see him go back and watch that pass. So Christopher Howell looks like he possibly got up into the wall. Let's go back and real quick. Watching here that's the 81 of Harley Barletta. So it doesn't look like there was contact. It was close. That 88 was really up close, maybe a little bit loose with those older tires. But that allowed the 81 of Harley Barletta to make his way around the 88 of Christopher Howell. Again, Chris Howell last pitted on lap 49, which means even with the cautions, he's got nearly 40 laps on those tires. Big challenge in the back. Alonzo King has moved up to third. He's got the 88 of Christopher Howell in front of him, and he's got the 11 of Joey Doucette right on his tail, and the 25 of Hermas Castro. Those guys are strong, aggressive drivers, all three of them. And they're trying to work their way around the 88 of Chris Howell. Well, 64 laps to go here at Darlington. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series here. We are watching a pitch battle with the 81 of Harley Barletta, currently leading this event, but a pack of cars right behind him. Chris Howell, Alonzo King, Joey Doucette, and Hermas Castro doing what they can to get back up. Oh, contact. See that these guys are definitely in contact with that safer barrier. Not enough to damage their car much, but certainly to throw a few sparks onto the track. "89 laps now complete here at Darlington." Alonzo King in that 80 is trying to find a way around the 88 of Chris Howell. Really, Chris is doing a masterful job. He's got much older tires. Alonzo pitted last on lap 66, as did the majority of the guys in the top 10. So he's got 20 laps to the good on his tires versus, well, if you take into consideration the cautions, even more so, life in his tires versus that 88 of Christopher Howell, but he continues to hold on. I'm sure Chris is hoping for a caution sometime soon to get himself back down on pit road and a fresh set of Goodyear rubber on that car. So as I said earlier, it's not so much here fuel as much as it's tire wear. This is an old track, old surface. Really tends to wear down these tires. Big challenge. Saw a lot of change in lines as these guys dived much lower, working their way around the 54 of David Watt. So that puts Freddie Durstock in the 16th slot. Freddie is the last car on the lead lap. Thank you for tuning in to the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Darlington is pretty much one of the oldest and certainly one of the most classic NASCAR tracks that's currently still in the series. Lots of nicknames you hear: Track Too Tough to Tame, the Lady in Black. You hear the Darlington Stripe. All of those come for well-deserved monikers for this track. It's a challenging track for both driver and for vehicle. That the old Darlington Southern 500 was, one of the longest, most grueling events on the NASCAR circuit. You can imagine doing 500 miles here on this track. It takes its toll on these drivers. Here, not so bad. We're doing 150 laps here at Darlington. Christopher Howell continues to stay ahead of Alonzo King in the 80. Some of these drivers are doing their best to stay out of trouble and outlast and survive here at Darlington. It's a challenging track. Probably said that more times than you want to hear, but it's really challenging and certainly takes not only finesse but consistency to get around. I'm just marveling at how well Christopher Howell is continuing to challenge his competitors, and really, for that matter, has put on a relative clinic in tire preservation. There's a tight battle right there for third with the 25 of Hermas Castro and the 80 of Alonzo King. Super hard to pass here, and as they're trying to work their way around, it's really easy to make a mistake. The margin of error is so skinny. Hermas basically backed out. I think that was enough. Time for Chris Powell to get some new tires. This will be the first green flag pit stop that we've seen tonight. I think Chris was really hoping for a caution to come out. Unfortunately, it did not, and that has forced him back down onto pit road. Mike Slagter in the 14 is also in at this time. And he's out. That was a 14.82 pit stop on pit road, but the unfortunate thing is, with coming down onto pit road under green flag conditions, it takes so long to get back out and back underway that you're going to lose a lap regardless. So that changes up the front. Alonzo King now is your leader. He has got the 81 of Harley Barletta in second, and the 25 of Hermas Castro is sitting in third. Let's jump back real quick and show that pass of Alonzo King as he gets around the 81 of Harley Barletta and takes over first place. Oh, that's why the 81 of Harley Barletta got loose coming out of 4, and that allowed the 80 of Alonzo King to make that pass. Now Hermas Castro has gotten around Harley Barletta to take over second place. Now Hermas Castro is trying to work his way up to challenge Alonzo. "47 laps to go here at Darlington. Alonzo King is your leader. Hermas Castro is in second. Harley Barletta in third. Joey Doucette back up to fourth. Ty Bostic is in fifth. Ty Bostic works his way around the 11 of Joey Doucette to take over sole possession of fourth. Looks like Pete Woodrum is on pit road. Oh, that was contact. You saw that? That was the 37 of Sean Shipman. Oh, the 81 is now dropping off the racing surface. Oh, contact. 81's in trouble. does not bring out a caution. What happened to the 81? He's got damage. That race car has got some damage. He's trying to find a way to go. Contact again. Trying to find a way to get his way back to pit road and get some repairs made. No, he's staying out. That 81 is limping around this track. Now this is a fairly challenging track because there is a front and a back pit road. It's easy to get confused. He's definitely going a number of laps down here as he works his way back to pit road. Alonzo King continues to show us the way. Hermas Castro is currently in second. Try to get a look back, if we could, as to what happened with probably Barletta here. There went out the throttle. Oh, contact with his teammate. That is the 11 of Joey Doucette, who punts him in the left rear quarter panel, sending him out, and then he tries to save it, contacts the inside wall. Heavy damage to that 81. And looks like that's what precipitated all of that challenge for Harley. That is unfortunate. Harley's one of the stronger drivers here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Hermas Castro, Joey Doucette, Ty Bostic all on pit road under green flag conditions, getting tires and fuel. "38 laps to go here at Darlington." We're going to take this opportunity to go side by side. You won't miss any action. We will be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I support Tech4Troops.
All right, welcome back. We have 37 laps to go here at Darlington. Number of drivers have gone down and have gone and taken tires and fuel under green flag conditions. Guard getting a message from our pit reporter that Chris Worrell has crashed, did not bring out a caution flag. Let's see what that incident was about. Oh, looks like he missed the pit entrance and backed up on the racing surface. Try and get into pit road. That's dangerous. All right. Well, Christopher Howell has retaken the lead. That green flag stop he made was timely and lucky for him. No cautions came out. That forced everybody behind him to go down pit road. And that has really jumbled up the field. Right now we've got 8 cars on the lead lap. Howell, Durstock, King, Slagter, Castro, Shootman, Doucette, and Bostic are on the lead lap. Everybody else has been caught during the pit cycles. Now, a lot of these guys took tires and fuel later than Chris Howell. Alonzo King pitted last on lap recently, just recently on lap 111. He is now in second place. But he is 13.5 seconds back behind Christopher Howell. Hermas Castro also in at that time. Mike Slagter was currently sitting in fourth. He pitted last on lap 99. Same as Chris Howell. You may remember he was in the pits at the same time. Hermas Castro was also in on that last round of pit stops on lap 112. Reporting from his team says that he had just 0.2, a quarter of a gallon, a fifth of a gallon left in the tank when he made it down pit road to refuel. That's cutting things a little tight, but here we are. While Hermas Castro is sitting currently in third spot, you've got Christopher Howell up front, 12 seconds over second place. Alonzo King in third of Hermas Castro. Mike Slagter is sitting in fourth, 16 seconds or so back. And you can see on the board, 7 cars on the lead lap. So, 30 laps here to go, 1/5 of the race left. The 88 of Christopher Howell is there. Does he have enough fuel? Does he have enough tires to go the distance? From what we've seen from Chris, pretty close. But since he pitted last on lap 99, that means he would need to finish 51 laps on this set of tires. My guess is he's saving a set, and he's hoping for a caution. Hermas Castro and Alonzo King are making up time fairly quickly. They are now just under 10 seconds now on Christopher Howell. And now you're seeing the 25 of Hermas Castro take over second place from Alonzo King. Watching those deltas between Christopher Howell and Castro begin to eat away. Now down under 9 seconds, 26 laps to go. Hermas Castro has got his eyes set on chasing down that rear bumper of the 25. Lots of drama going on, a lot of contact back in that field. Got the 99 of Barabee, the 5 of Freddie Durstock. That's the 81 of Barletta. And the 89 of Paul Valentine, all battling there. Freddie Durstock is, I think he's 2 laps down. Barletta 2 laps down. Pittman a lap down, Berube a lap down, Valentine a lap down. Ryan Pittman is currently the first car on the lead lap. A caution comes out. He will get the lucky dog and be able to come back around and gain the lead lap. But right now, Christopher Howell is leading this race with 23 laps to go. However, Alonzo King and Castro, who continue to swap positions for second and third, are only 7 seconds behind. Will Christopher Howell stay out? Will he try to find a way to come back in? He's hoping for a caution, or is he? Time will tell. Mike Slagter in the 14, he's currently sitting in 7th, and the last car on the lead lap also pitted at the same time of Christopher Howell. Let's try to bring up that track map and get a feel for just how far back. So you see the 88 there, and we're looking for the 80. So it's pretty much just about the length of turns 1 and 2 as a delta between Alonzo King and Hermas Castro to Christopher Howell. 5 seconds now separate Chris Howell from second and third. Soon he will get him in his mirror. You've got his teammate who's right there, although he is a lap down. That's the 81 of Harley Barletta. Oh, contact. That was Barletta tagging the wall. Marco Berube is right there. Oh, almost contact with the 5. Christopher Howell lets his teammate by, or just was taken away. Mike Slagter is now on pit road. That's the 14. He pitted the same time as Christopher Howell. There was slight contact with Marco Berube and the 89 of Paul Valentine. Paul's trying his best to think and get around Marco. Ryan Pittman sits behind. Oh, contact with the outside retaining wall with the 89. You see that flash from that exhaust, you can tell he is out of the gas. Durstock a little high there. It was like minor contact with the 08 and the 89. Oh, contact with the 5. Alonzo King moves up into first place. Hermas Castro second. Christopher Howell has crashed, bringing out our 7th caution. Oh, big contact with the 5 of Freddie Durstock. We thought we saw some contact early on, but he tries to dive low, and that's a hard place to do that. Unfortunately, in doing so, he collected the 88 of Christopher Howell. Heavy damage on that 88. Yep, that right front is toast. Well, hopefully there is a repair in the pits for Chris to make. Chris Howell is now on pit road. Unfortunately, it looks like maybe Chris already had used that fast repair. That's going to be unfortunate. With 14 laps to go, Chris Howell has significant damage to that right front. All right, one last commercial break, and we'll be back to Green Flag Racing here at the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers to get back in the workforce. We want to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, we are still here under caution, our 7th caution of the night. Watching Paul Valentine come down pit road. "13 laps to go. Alonzo King is currently leading and will be our control car at the restart. Paul Valentine is done and back on track. Saw Chris Worrell there as well. Back on the lead lap. Harley Barletta back on the lead lap. Nope. Not quite yet. I think Harley's 1 lap down. All right. 13 laps to go here at Darlington. We are under the lights for the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Got exactly 10 cars currently showing on the lead lap. Number of cars getting the wave around. They will join the field. That puts Chris Worrell back on the lead lap. He is currently in 10th. We're expecting a shootout between Hermas Castro and Alonzo King, but don't look now. If you're sitting 3rd, 4th, or 5th, or further on back, you have an opportunity because these drivers don't give a lot. So the opportunity is there to capitalize. We thank you for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast. of the Tech4Troops Cup Series here at Darlington. We've got 12 laps to go, 11 at the stripe. Alonzo King is our control car. And we're about to go back to green. Here we go, green, green, green. Alonzo held the 11 of Doucette up and allowed him to jump out to a big margin. Alonzo King currently showing in first. Hermas Castro in the 25 is in second. Joey Doucette in third. Sean Schupman in fourth. And these guys are working to separate themselves from the rest of the field with just 10 laps to go. Hermas Castro is trying to find a way around the 80 of Alonzo King. But don't look now, you've got Joey Doucette in the 11 on their heels. Joey Doucette was leading a good bit of this race, got involved in an incident, has had to work his way back up, is now sitting in third. Oh, a little bit of contact with the outside wall with the 99 in the back, Marco Berube. You saw a bit from the 25 as well as he contacted a safer barrier. The 11 is trying to work his way around the 25 of Hermas Castro. Further on back, you see Chris Worrell getting around the 43 of Andrew Serwick, getting him up to the top 5. We'll see if he's got time to get back up and challenge these guys for the lead. Alonzo King continues to show us the way. You're right, Seth. It should be a great finish. Oh, contact. The 25 and the 80 again. Contact, forcing the 80 up into the wall. 25 gets by. 11 gets by. Nope. Alonzo holds on to that second position, but he has got his eyes set now on the 25 of Hermas Castro. Oh, contact again. Alonzo is on the hunt. There's the 25. The 80 gets back around the 25. Not quite sure what caused that 25 to slow down, but he did. And along the 25 tags the wall. Don't look now, the 8 of Chris Worrell has made his way all the way back up and is now challenging the 11 for third place. He's currently sitting fourth. There are 5 laps to go. Gets his way around. Contact Hermas Castro with that safer barrier. Now he is underneath the 80 of Alonzo King. There was some definite contact in the back with the 99 of Marco Berube. These guys are door to door. 25 and the 80. Now Chris Worrell enters the fray. He is right behind them. They are nearly 3 wide. 25 is running alongside that safer barrier. The 8 is behind the 80. He's trying to find his way around Alonzo King. He is on his bumper. Laps to go. 2 at the stripe. The 80 approaches the bumper of the 25, backs off a little bit to cause the 8 to ride up. 8's trying to find a way around. He's got the position. Can he hold it? slides back a little bit. We're about to, on the backstretch, 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go here at the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Hermas Castro continues to show the lead around. Final lap here at Darlington. Backstretch. Can the 25 hold on? Can the 80 hold on the second? The 80 is challenging. Oh, contact with the safer barrier. Final lap, and the 25 of Hermas Castro wins the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Second place, the 80 of Alonzo King, and Chris Worrell finishes in third. Little kiss from the bumper of the 8. An exciting finish here at Darlington amongst these competitors. Great battle side by side with the 25 and the 80 to finish this race. Fabulous finish by the 25. As he celebrates his victory. Well, we'll try to get the official results in a second. All right, as we called it, Hermas Castro with Owl's Nest Racing Team is your winner. Second place is Alonzo King. Third place, Chris Worrell. Fourth place, Joey Doucette. Fifth place, Sean Shootman. Sixth is Andrew Serwick. Paul Ballenstein finishes 7th. Ty Bostic finishes 8th. Ryan Pittman in 9th. Marco Berube in 10th. Harley Barletta finishes in 11th. Mike Slagder in 12th. Luke Bullard in 13th. Pete Woodrum in 14th. David King finishes in 15th. Christopher Howell in 16th. Ian Ogden in 17th. Bobby Gibson finishes in 18th. Evan Amick in 19th, Thomas Thompson in 20th, Zachary Allen in 21st, Nick Nadu in 22nd, Freddie Durstock in 23rd, and Brad Previtt in 24th. All right, we'll wait to see. Well, Chris Worrell has entered into our waiting room. Let's see if we can drag Chris into the booth.
I was doing the best I could.
Chris, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations. That was a heck of a finish. You guys are really challenging each other.
Yeah, that was fun. After pacing around laps down that whole time, that was fun to get that aggression out of my system there.
It was great to watch. On that restart, you guys were right there, and then you were battling through some of those 11-11 cars to get back up. Tell us a little bit what you were thinking on those last couple laps.
Well, the cautions felt perfect for me at first. Got my laps back. I should have took tires right then, but I didn't. I went 102, 103 laps, I think, on the same set of tires. And as soon as I got tires there, was on that last run. So I tried to move my way up through the field. And, I was able to get there. I saw them battling really hard, The fact that I don't show up every week means, I feel like I got to have the most respect and not hit anybody or wreck anybody. That's the most important thing to me. So, but I'm telling you what, Alonzo's blocking the crap out of me. There's nothing more I wanted to just send it into one. And he was giving me room, too, looking back on it. I wish I would have drove a little bit harder into turn 1. I might have had a chance to go for the win there. But the last thing I want to do is wreck those guys when they're having a good battle for the finish. I'm just glad to finally get up there and race for it,
Absolutely. Hang on a bit. I'm going to actually bring Alonzo King in the booth, and we'll congratulate him. You can hang out with us here.
Okay, that'll work.
Yep. Any shout-outs before I bring Alonzo in?
Tech4Troops, the sponsors, you for doing the broadcast. everybody in the league, Hermas for getting the win, Alonso for doing a great job there at the end. Everybody in the league, Elliot for getting me in here.
Well, appreciate you. Alonzo, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations on that heck of a battle towards the end there. That was just fantastic to watch you guys battle.
Rick, how you doing, buddy?
I am surviving.
Hopefully that was good for the broadcast, man.
Yeah, no, that was a great finish. You guys were really putting on a heck of a show out there with yourself. Chris coming back, and obviously you battling tightly with Hermas. That was great for the broadcast. Just great to watch.
Yeah, old Hermas, man. We got into it there a little bit earlier, but you know what? He's fun to battle with. He'll put the bumper to you, man. I love it. That's just good. To me, as long as you ain't wrecking each other, that's good racing. So.
Absolutely. I saw, and tell us a little about, I guess you guys were, there's a lot of contact early on there, and looks like he backed out a bit and kind of did he give you back the position, or we may have
He
missed?
gave me back first place, and I got on the radio. I'm like, no, don't do that. And I was like, don't do that. Get up here, drive me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we did door each other pretty hard, stuff like that. It wasn't bothering me or anything like that. It's just don't give me the position. Let's fight it out. You know, what happens on that track stays there. I don't care. I'm having so much fun.
Yeah, no, it was great to watch. It was great racing. I don't see Hermas right now anywhere in the Discord. It's unfortunate. Love to bring him in here. And
yeah, he's fast. He's great. I love it. So.
Yep. No, it was great. It was great to watch, and certainly we appreciated that battle towards the end there. So tell us a little bit about your thoughts those last laps or two, if you kind of take us through a bit there.
Well, it was about 10 to go when we took the green. I knew, like, long runs I was better than short runs, because for some reason on a short run I couldn't get this car to turn the way I wanted it to. So I figured, I was like, well, I'm going to start selling it off in here and see if I can heat that right front up to get it to do what I needed to do, but I just couldn't hold him off. So he was getting better runs off the corner. I just, I wasn't going to hold him up too much. And then Chris, he came out of nowhere. I need to watch my relative a little bit more. Then he got in there, and I blocked him pretty good, and that was the end of it. And he never got to run after that one, so. But.
All right. No, we appreciate everything you showed us tonight, and certainly congratulations on your P2 finish. Any shout-outs tonight?
Give a shout-out to Elliot for putting this on, man. It's a lot of fun. Shout-out for Tech4Troops. Shout-out for My Veterans Passion. Definitely go check out the websites for them guys, man. And shout-out to Dark Tempest Motorsports. Putting a showing on. Let's have some fun.
Here we go. All right, that's your second place finisher, Alonzo King Jr. We have Chris Worrell here in the booth as well. We have not Mr. Hermas Castro is nowhere to be found. He's apparently still celebrating his victory and is not available to us to join in the booth, but we haven't seen him quite yet. So we'll give him a couple minutes, see if he shows up. We'll see if we can get Elliot down here in the booth and tell us what's happening next week. Hey, Elliot, welcome to the broadcast booth. Tell us a little bit about what's planned for next week.
Hi, Rick. We're going to Chicagoland next week. It's a nice, big, fast racetrack. It's not on the NASCAR circuit anymore, but it's a great place to race. So I'm going to do 133 laps there. I think it'll be a fine race. Also need to announce the hard charger for tonight was Andrew Surowick. He finished 6th, started 12th. He was the hard charger. And the 1111 Vets Cleanest Driver Award goes to Marco Berube. And believe it or not, he had a 0X. He was the only driver to accomplish that here at this tough racetrack.
Wow, that's amazing news. He certainly was in the thick of it for a while there. So he finished 0X. That's congratulations to Marco Berube. So I would wish to would love to talk to Hermas Castro, but he is not available today. So we'll have to pick up his comments another time. So I think that's all we've got, Elliot. I think we're going to congratulate the drivers on a heck of a race today, and we'll be signing off.
Absolutely. Looking forward to next week.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining in to the Tech4Troops Darlington 150. Graduating our winner, Hamas Castro, on his finish. Second place, Alonzo King, and Chris Worrell in P3. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next week here on the IWM Broadcast Network.